What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another rendition of Cold Takes from the Land.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Oh, God. Let's talk about a good Cleveland sports team. How about that, buddy?
Let's do it, man. Officially, Cleveland Guardians clinched at least the second seed in the American League playoff bracket tonight.
Hell
So we would have
yeah.
to go 5-0, I think, to win the one seed, which is highly unlikely. But we got one of the two coveted first-round buys, so that is definitely something to be very proud of.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Coming off of our last episode where we had some question marks. How about answering them? How about that, buddy?
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, we're sitting at 91 wins right now season. For a lot of people, the media predicted us to finish fourth or fifth, which I thought was ludicrous, but that was with a healthy Shane Bieber. So the fact that Shane Bieber went down after like 3 weeks into the season, and then we come out and we're already over 90 wins, clinched one of the two buys. I mean, that's about as good of a season as you could ask for under a first-year rookie manager.
Yeah, we got that bye. We're sitting at the 2 seed, and we'll be playing, if the postseason picture looks as it is right now, we'll be playing either the Astros or the Royals in the ALDS, which I feel pretty good about either of those matchups. But fucking how about it, man? We're scoring runs. We're doing this shit, buddy.
Yes, we are, and we're leaning on some guys we just recently got. I mean, Kyle Manzardo's had 5 home runs in his 8 games, hit another one tonight. Lane Thomas is finally starting to look like the guy that we traded for. He's had 7 home runs in the month of September so far. So it's really coming from guys that aren't our 3 and 4 hitters. I mean, Jose and Josh games tonight, but hopefully we can get them rolling. I know Hammy on the broadcast tonight said Stephen Kwan is expected to start tomorrow finally. So we have 4 games to get him kind of revved up before the week. I think we have a week off for the wild card games to be played, and then we play after that. But
yeah, that rest
give him
will
a
be
couple
nice.
games to kind of get ready with him. I know Stephen Vogt said in the past it's like pulling teeth to try to get him to sit out any games, even when he's hurt, just because he's that kind of guy that wants to be out there to play every day and try to produce for his team. So giving him a couple days off is going to be big because he seems to be always nicked up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm excited for the guys to get a little bit of rest, like we were just saying. But let's go over like how some of these dudes are playing, man. Like you said, it's been a lot of the new
Yes,
guys.
sir.
I wanna highlight my boy, my new current favorite player, Kyle Manzardo, out here, fucking doing shit, hitting balls, looking like a fucking Viking out there.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. I mean, that Twins game, I think, was his breaking out moment where it was a big divisional game. Twins were still in the hunt for us at that point, and then he hit that big home run in the 8th inning to put us up 4-3. I think that was kind of his coming out moment to be like, okay, I'm not struggling with this major league pitching thing anymore. I'm gonna come out and just fucking mash the ball.
Yeah, we were saying, brother, like he had his first stint up here where he was like kind of playing in and out of the lineup and kind of caught fire late, and then we just sent him back down for a good chunk of the season. We kept saying, we're like, why don't we just bring him back up? He's got some pop. If he can just get some consistency going, he might be a real big asset. And look at it, his batting average is up to 250. He's got 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. He's been killing it. He had a home run tonight.
And he's hitting it in the 2-hole, too. To hit in the 2-hole, you have to have a good eye. You don't just put somebody in the 2-hole if they can't take pitches, get on base. He walked again tonight, which is good. He has a much better eye than some of our power hitters. Hashtag Big Christmas, who's been absolutely fucking horrendous lately.
Yeah.
Love him. But the guy swings at some of the worst pitches I've ever seen. But he's got a good eye. He's hitting the 2-hole. If you get Stephen Kwan back, I like that top 6 a lot of Kwan, Manzardo in the 2, Jose, Josh Naylor, Lane Thomas, and Jimenez. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, you just mentioned a guy, Lane Thomas, who had a bit of a rough start to his tenure with the Guardians, but as of recently, he's been fucking killing it.
Yeah, he's been our best outfielder, man, since Kwan was on his tear. He's a guy that seems to be making all these plays out there. He made another diving catch in right field tonight. They moved him. I think he started in center, and then we put Straw in later in the game for defense, and then they moved him to right, and he had a really good diving catch in like the 8th inning. So defense is good. He's seeming to be hitting the ball pretty damn well now. He's got some pop. It's a guy who has over 20 stolen bases, I know, this season already. So if he can just keep this up, man, he's getting hot at the right time. And baseball is one of those games where it's like you got to get hot, kind of like the NFL. If you get hot, in the last couple weeks of the season, look out.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, offense has been firing on all cylinders, has been a lot better, and there's still even room for improvement. Like obviously Stephen Kwan was a bit of a struggle recently, so hopefully he can get back to himself, and a couple other, if a few other guys can get back going. But I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting at right now. The one big question mark, especially after Bieber went down, has been the pitching, and as of recently, I feel like the pitching has been not really much of a concern. Obviously, like it could be better. Like it'd be nice if you had Bieber out there, but if we can, keep it how it's been, the last, handful of games or so, I think we're more than able to beat just about anybody.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's the one thing that I'm kind of still worried about, to be honest with you. Just not having that ace. I mean, we have games where it's like, cool, Lively comes out and he'll have 2 really good games back to back, and then he'll have a terrible game. And Bibee seems to be like every other week kind of thing. Like tonight, he was great, went 7 full innings, only gave up 1 run. And then next week, he'll come out and give up 4 runs in 3 innings. So it's like, that's really the one thing against these better playoff teams like the Astros, the Yankees, Baltimore, even KC with Bobby Witt Jr., who's hitting 330 plus. That's one thing I do worry about. Like if we lose early, I think it's going to be because of that starting pitching. To be honest, I don't even know who we consider our like ace right now. So I don't even know, like, it's going to be interesting to see who they roll out. That might be kind of an advantage for us because we don't really have that like number one go-to guy. Like you can't guarantee that we're going to play, is Bibee going to start game 1 or is Lively or is like, I don't know who we're going to play. So
I think that could be
to our benefit to confuse the team.
Yeah, I was going to say that could end up just kind of working out to our advantage just because the other team, whoever we end up playing could be not as certain as who he's going up against. But that's kind of why I have a little bit of confidence in it. Yeah, we don't have anyone who's just outright balling, but if, like I said, if you can just keep it at a manageable level like it's been recently, and if the offense can keep, helping out the pitcher as much as they can, it'll definitely be a fun run. I think is very well in the cards for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm just glad we don't have to play in that shitty 3-game wild card spot. I hope they eventually get rid of that. Because for one, obviously, the one team gets all the home games. So it's like, if the Tigers end up playing the Astros or whatever it is, they're all 3 in Houston, which I think is kind of shitty. And I'm like, I just hate the fact that like the Tigers are going on a tear right now. Don't get me wrong, they're a division rival, but they've kind of been helping us out with beating teams that we need them to beat when we need them to beat them, so we can clinch the AL Central.
Right.
But it sucks that they're going on this tear after the All-Star break. They're the best team since the All-Star break in the American League, and then they're fighting their ass off just to get in a 3-game series where it's like anybody can lose 2 out of 3 on any given week. Like the best team doesn't necessarily always win that series. I think it should be a full 5 or 7 games.
No, I definitely agree. It's definitely because it's the only sport that really does anything like that, the only major sport at least. Obviously, football's single elimination, but that's fucking football. There's a reason for that. Like the NBA,
yeah,
even
it's
the
like
first
a March
round.
Madness tournament.
Yeah, even in the NBA, the first round 7 games. It used to be 5, but it's been 7 for a long time. So that is a weird one. It is nice to not have to play in that this year. So like you have a little bit of comfortability.
Yeah.
And the overall like outlook, like I feel like obviously not last year, of course, but the year 2 years ago when we squeaked into the wild card round and lost to the Yankees barely in the AL DS, I think it was. We were going into that playoff run. We're like, hey, if we can win the wild card and be competitive, this is great. Whereas now it's like we look at every team in this bracket here and like we can very well beat any of them. And I think it's been probably since like 2017 we could say that about the Guardians. Obviously they were the Indians then. Yeah,
no, I completely agree with you, man. I mean, it's going to be an exciting run. We'll kind of get into our predictions of what we think we're going to finish with here soon, like how far we think we're going to go, but I think with our offense just has to maintain. I mean, we're going to have to get some level of production from that 7 through 9 spot. Bo Naylor's been pretty atrocious recently, like at the plate. I mean, granted, he's still a very good defensive catcher. He calls a great game, but we're going to need something. We're going to need a damn Roberto Perez kind of like breakout game where he has like a home run or 2 in a couple of the series. Rocchio, you never know what you're going to get. I like Rocchio defensively a lot. He's a guy that's going to be a pitcher's best friend out there. He's going to turn a ton of double plays. He has a lot of range out there defense. What does he give you offensively? We're going to have to get something from that 7, 8, 9. And I kind of want to see, too, like, I don't know what the lineup's fully going to be. I think Fry's probably going to come off the bench, to be honest, because I don't know where you start him. Unless he plays DH, but I think Kyle's just hitting too damn well right now, and he's a lefty, so most of the pitchers you're going to play are right-handed. You're not going to start Fry against right-handed hitting.
That's what I was going to say, though, is, like, because of the issues, the concern with Bo is, like, you could have Fry play catcher, like, if Bo's a problem.
He hasn't done it in so long, though, man. He hasn't done it in, like, months. I don't think you're just going to throw him out there in the playoffs after not catching a live game for 3.5 months.
Well, if fucking Bo's batting 0.50, you might have to give it a whirl.
Well, he'll pull him. I mean, he's still pinch hitting a fuckload of guys. Like, Fry seems to play every night pretty much. They just pinch hit for him whenever they bring in a pitcher, like a lefty or something.
It is nice to have that versatility.
Because I don't think you can throw him in right field. Yeah, I don't think you can throw him in right. I mean, he's an okay defender, but in the playoffs, you got to have, like, average to, like, superior defense. So I think Will Brennan's going to start in right field, and then, unless we play a left-handed starting pitcher like Skubal, then I think you put Fry out there. But I think you're obvious now. The good thing is getting Thomas. He really solidifies that field to where you have 2 of 3 pretty damn good hitting outfielders with Lane Thomas and Quan. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, no, for sure. Could you imagine fucking Bo in the postseason bats 400 and has like 5 home runs?
Dude, he could do it, man. I mean, shit, he goes on some tears for like a couple games where he's pretty damn good, but his eye, that's the one thing he really needs to get in the batting cages this offseason and work on his, like, just him seeing the ball, because he swings at some bad pitches too.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because, like, like in 2023, like, he was just, like, he wasn't anything insane, but he was just so much better.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think he had as many home runs last year in, like, a third of the games that he does this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that is definitely one concern.
Granted, home runs aren't everything, but you're hitting like 202. Like if you were hitting 250 even, it would be a big difference. Like if you're an above average hitter, I think the league average is like like low 240s something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting that you mentioned that bottom of the lineup there. That is going to be kind of like the wild card offensively. Like if you can get even a little bit of production from them. I think the main things going into the postseason run is, can the starting pitching maintain enough those first 6 innings of every game where you can get those high level relievers and obviously Clase in there to finish out these games, and can that bottom part of the lineup, really produce and get you enough hits and get you enough base appearances where you're comfortable. Because if the top 6, like you were saying, can keep playing like they've been, and Manzardo and Lane Thomas, those guys can stay on fire, and we get what we know we can get from the established guys like Jose and Quan and whatnot, and Jimenez and Josh Naylor, we can fucking beat anybody, man. I wish we had Shane Bieber.
Yeah, so do I. If we had Shane Bieber, man, I mean, I might go out on a limb and like pick us to at least make, if not win, the World Series.
I was going to say, I think we'd be the favorites in the AL if we had Bieber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we'd be a 95, 96 win team already at this point if we had Shane Bieber, at least. I mean, we might be pushing 100 the way he was pitching.
Yeah.
He would have been it would have been him and Skubal rivaling for the Cy Young. And Clase, of course, I just don't think he's going to get it because he hasn't pitched nearly as many innings. But that was kind of my next thing I wanted to talk about. If the good thing is with this team, I think our bullpen is way deeper than 2016 when we made the World Series. Like, granted, Andrew Miller was a monster, but so is Clase. Those two are on the same level pretty much.
Right.
And I think our deep bullpen is just deeper now. We have Tim Herron, who's a sub-2 ERA. Gaddis is a sub-2 ERA. Cade Smith has an absolute cannon of an arm, throwing like 98 miles an hour. He has ERA. We have a dude we called up from Columbus, this Andrew Walters kid, who hasn't given up a fucking run so far. He's a stud. I think he might play a lot. We got that other left called up, that dude with that crazy long name, like that. It's like a fucking 14-letter name. But he's a lefty.
I'm trying to read it. Fucking
like Skubalter or something like that. Skawanski or some shit.
I can't say.
Mike Wazowski, whatever the fuck his name is. But he's gone out there. He's been absolutely lighting it up. I'm leaving somebody out. Pedro Avila's been solid as hell. He's a guy that comes in and can pitch like 3-4 innings. Eli Morgan has really gotten his slider going. Like, we can go like 7-8 deep, man. So like, if I'm Vogue, I might be like, yo, whoever's pitching, give me 4 innings of 1 hit or 1 run baseball, or give me 5 innings of 1 run baseball, and we can get us home from fucking 5-9 with this bullpen we have every game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying. That if we can just
maintain, that is the thing that, like, if we win it all, that's going to be the key. Because if our bullpen can keep this up, man, like, with how shaky our starting pitching is, it's been better recently. But if they can just be consistent through the first half, I would turn it over to the bullpen almost every time throughout the third time in the lineup, because the third time in the lineup is generally when hitters like Aaron Judge and fucking Yordan Alvarez start to be like, okay, I'm understanding this guy's pitches and I can fucking crush one now. So if you can get them twice through the lineup and then pull them out every time, right. I would pretty much do that to go to the bullpen, unless you have a Tanner Bybee who's on fire at the moment. But I would go I'd be like, yo, give me 4 strong innings, and then you can get the hell out of this game and we can leave it up to the bullpen.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Which is a huge advantage, because like we have by far, I think, the best bullpen in the league, and I think it's so deep now that I think that might be the key to us making a deep playoff run.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a huge nice thing to have going into this postseason, because it's definitely not been like that recent years, but it's nice to have a real strong bullpen with those guys you had mentioned, and then of course Clase with his ability to close out the game when we need him. But
yes, sir.
With our thoughts there, do you want to toss a little prediction out before we jump off here?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to talk about where we think we're going to end up and who we think we're going to play?
Oh yeah, so hot take here. We ain't losing the rest of the regular season. I know that's a whopping 4 games, but we're gonna end this season on a 5-game win streak. We're gonna be 95-67. I do think we're gonna still have that second seed, and we're gonna be sitting pretty. I'm just gonna go off the way the postseason looks now with the bracket. So I'm gonna say Houston edges out the Royals, just because the Royals have been so bad over the back half of this season. And I'm gonna say we play them in the second round. I'm gonna say we beat them. We might give up a game. I said we'll give up a game, but we'll beat them. And then in the ALCS, I almost care about this more than I do the World Series. I hope we fucking play the Yankees in the ALCS, and I hope we fucking lay our fat dick on their fucking chest and beat them 4-0. And fucking my cat's over here meowing because she knows what I'm talking about. The fucking Yankles are gonna get shit on in the ALCS. And all I'm gonna say is, these goddamn Guardians are going to the World Series. Now, who we play? I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna. I don't know. I feel like. Okay, hold on. I gotta stop this goddamn cat. All right, and we're back. Who we play in the World Series? I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, it's easy to say the Dodgers or obviously Philly, but I don't know. I look at them Brewers, man. The Brewers were they were kind of interesting when we played them. They were giving us some problems. So I don't know. Or maybe we could have another fucking Cinderella run from the Diamondbacks or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
The NL is crazy, man. It's gonna be fun too for us. Already clinching. It's going to be fun to watch that, especially the series for who our opponent might be. But it's going to be fun to see those other series, because we can kind of kick our feet up for a week and just let everybody else beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, definitely. But in all seriousness, I do think we definitely have a really good chance to go to the World Series. I would love to beat the Yankees to make it to the World Series. And if I want to play someone in the World Series, I think it'd be fun to play the Dodgers. Go beat fucking Ohtani and to get a ring.
Dude, that would be like a goated World Series run if we did that shit. We'd fucking wipe the floor with the Yankees and then beat the Dodgers.
Hey, it'd be a hell of a story, buddy. What do you think?
It would be. I mean, shit, you're almost talking me into it. I was gonna stick to my original prediction of last video. I'm gonna go out on a limb here too. I'm gonna say we also make the World Series. Shit. I was originally gonna say we make the ALCS and lose to the Yankees, but I've been shitting on the Yankees all year. I thought they were gonna either miss the playoffs or like be absolute dog shit. So I'm gonna say we beat the Yankees. Obviously, we're gonna beat the Royals if we play them in the ALDS. I think, like you said, they're going to take a game. That's a 5-game series, so shit. I mean, it could even go the full 5 if they bounce back and Salvador Perez absolutely fucking blasts us again and has like 6 RBIs like he did that one night. But we'll beat the Royals. We're going to get to the ALCS. I think we're going to beat the Yankees in 7. And then I think we're going to make it to the World Series and play the Phillies. I think the Dodgers and Phillies will probably be in the NLCS, excuse me. But I just think the Phillies, I think their pitching's pretty damn good compared to the Dodgers. I think their lineup's just as good top to bottom. You got guys that have been there before, obviously, and Bryce Harper. You have fucking what's his face from the Cubs that absolutely destroyed us in 2016. That cracks the ball, strikes out like half the time, but it's either a strikeout or like a 500-foot home run with him. Schwarber. They have a lot of guys in the lineup that I like quite a bit, so I think it'll be a Guardians-Phillies World Series.
That's a hell of a city matchup, Cleveland and Philly.
Yeah, man, shit. I mean, it was in 2016. It was the best World Series in the last, like, 50 fucking years.
And this is going to be the best
crazy
World
fan
Series
base
since
is
then.
there. It could be, but I think ultimately we would lose that matchup in probably 6 games. I just think Phillies, they've been the best team in the National League all damn year. Granted, they haven't been on as much of a tear in the last, like, couple weeks, but I think if we make it, we'd probably lose to Philly. If we had Bieber and could pitch him twice in a 7-game series, I might like our chances better, but I think we'll get to the World Series and lose to Philadelphia.
Damn, all that positive energy, and you say we're going to lose? I'm going to have to kick you off the channel now because of this shit?
Yeah, I think so, man. Shit, I'm hoping we just make it out of the ALCS because, like I said, a month ago, I was predicting we'll make it there. My head is telling me that's still probably where we end up and lose to the Yankees. But shit, man, I mean, I don't know. I talked myself into it, and you talked me into it with the bullpen. I think our bullpen is fucking damn good. It's just, obviously, if we play the Yankees, they're the 1 seed, so they have home field advantage.
Yeah, who knows our luck. A couple guys will get hurt, and we'll have fucking Carrasco pitching a Game 7 against the Yankees and lose 17-2.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to pitch around Judge and freaking Soto. If you can pitch around those guys and limit the damage they do, I'm not really scared of that lineup otherwise, to be honest. Like, I don't think they're as good as or deep as the Brewers, the Phillies, or the Dodgers, the top 3 teams in the NL. And honestly, like, top to bottom, I think Baltimore is much better, especially their 6 through 9 than the Yankees. The Yankees 6 through 9 is absolute trailer park trash.
Yeah, right. Just the Yankees just
and
have those.
Garrett Cole's getting old, man. Garrett Cole's a monster, but he's gotten shelled a couple times already this season. So
yeah, they just have those nukes they can lay on you.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they can hit the ball a quarter mile. I mean, they got Stanton too, who can still hit at a quarter fucking mile, except he can't and barely move around the bases out there. But I think we could pull it out, man. I really do. I mean, we've struggled against the Yankees in the last like couple postseasons, where the Lindor one where we got 2-0 and then lost 3 in a row, and then 2022 I think we went the full 5 that year too, didn't we? Or was it 4?
We went up 2-1 off the SpongeBob fucking walk-off, remember?
Oh yeah, the walk-off single up the middle, yeah, then dropped the last 2, so it'll be tough. But I mean, we've been there now. Granted, Judge has too, but freaking Jose's been in a World Series before. He's made some good runs. Had the good home run to beat Tampa Bay in the Wild Card Series in 2022. Josh Naylor's been in the playoffs now. He hit a home run off Garrett Cole. That's when he did the Rock the Baby celebration, if you remember that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got guys that have been there now. I mean, granted, we still have some young guys, Rocchio, Manzardo. It's really going to depend on how these youngsters play, but we at least have some guys that have been there, done that. Pitching-wise, I'm not 100% sure how many we have that have been in the postseason. Like, Cobb probably has been, because he's like fucking 38.
Right.
So I'm assuming he's probably been there once or twice. I don't think Boyd has, because he was on the Tigers, and the Tigers are pretty trash for the last decade. So that's going to be like our starting pitching. I don't think has much experience in the postseason. But bullpens, a couple of those guys have been there, and we have a lot of starters that have been there. Kwan's obviously been in 4, so Jimenez. I like our chances.
I do too. Yeah, we're pretty happy outlook with a lot of excitement going into the postseason, going into October baseball, and we're excited to get to talk about it. We'll be able to be more consistent with the videos since it won't be a fucking regular season filled with games. We'll be on a lot more of a schedule, which will be cool. So we'll be able to talk about the postseason.
We'll do obviously an actual prediction too once we know who the hell we're playing. Fill 4 teams up for that last spot. Yeah.
So next Guards video will probably be the playoff preview. So. And then we'll be talking about them pretty consistently until they're done and over with, and hopefully it'll be lots of good things, and we'll be talking about maybe a World Series win as we chug along here. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening. That's our thought on the Cleveland motherfucking Guardians, and we're gonna go in the fucking postseason and shit in their mouth. That's what we're gonna do, buddy. And we appreciate you guys for listening. And be on the lookout. This will be out. We'll have a Browns video. Much different vibes with that one. If you guys want to hear us be sad and angry. And then we'll have usual Browns preview, whoever we're going to lose to next. And then we'll be talking about the guards next week for the playoffs. And then soon enough, the Cavs will be back up and going. So, yeah, we got a lot of shit coming up. And I'm ready to talk about it. And hopefully things get better in certain areas of Cleveland sports and the Guardians keep chugging along, but we're going to find out, and we will see you in the next episode.
Cold takes from the land.